I should preface this review by saying that I am not by any means a survival game player. I've briefly dabbled in games like No Man's Sky and Subnautica, but popular survival games like Valheim and Rust have completely passed me by. I love the feeling of exploration and discovery, but survival game mechanics often feel either too overwhelming or too tedious. When Song in the Smoke was announced, I was really hoping the survival mechanics would be toned down in comparison to other survival games, with an emphasis on the spiritual element shown off in the trailer. My wish was not granted. Song in the Smoke is, for better or worse, wholly a survival game. Crafting, hunting, hunger and exhaustion meters, it's all there. Surprisingly though, I found that to be a good decision. Song in the Smoke's implementation of survival mechanics helps it craft a unique and genuinely compelling identity, where you truly feel like a lone man attempting to survive everything the harsh and unforgiving wilderness throws at you. Song in the Smoke's story is almost non-existent, and consists of environmental clues and short cutscenes, all lacking dialogue. A three-headed bird with a human face on its chest guides you throughout the environments, and cutscenes depicting members of a fictional tribe show you divine beasts of each level that you'll need to defeat. That's pretty much as far as the story goes. It's simple, but the cutscenes are well done, and the lack of a real story doesn't leave a feeling that anything is missing. The gameplay in concept is incredibly simple. Just find 3 singing stones in each level, unite them, watch a cutscene and fight the boss, then move on to the next level. Just be sure not to die while doing so. In practice, things get a little more complicated. You have to manage your hunger, tend to your wounds, collect materials, and build a campfire all before nightfall. On top of this, the days are short, and even shorter if you kill an animal and harvest its fur or meat, as carving puts you into a special mode that drains time faster than normal. The short days and dangerous nights, coupled with a great deal of tasks needed to survive and incredibly aggressive predators, make the game a lot more complex than it would seem on paper. In practice, the game is extraordinarily difficult, and one mistake can quickly spiral out of control and lead to death. Song in the Smoke often toes the line between frustrating and challenging, and which one of those it ultimately turns out to be depends entirely on the player. The other frustrating aspect about Song in the Smoke is the insistence on letting the player discover everything. Some players might really enjoy this aspect of the game, but a lot of things that should be included in tutorials aren't, in favor of a lot of trial and error, and if you lack the time and patience like I did, Googling the correct answer. Song in the Smoke's presentation is just absolutely incredible, easily some of the best among any VR game I've personally played. There are 2 distinct aspects to the aesthetic of the game, that of nature and that of spirituality. The portrayal of nature is harsh, filled with bugs and predators. It works incredibly well too, because as a difficult and unforgiving survival game, showing the real ruthlessness of nature really helps you immerse yourself in the environment. The spiritual aspect of the aesthetic is also incredibly cool. All of the spirits, visions, and divine beasts are complemented by cosmic imagery, textures of stars and galaxies that just make them feel truly fantastic and otherworldly. The spiritual element also introduces not just an incredible visual juxtaposition, but an ideological one as well. As you fight nature, you become more in touch with it. Slaughtering predators might make you feel big and powerful, but the vast, ever-reaching cosmos will make you feel small and helpless. I can recognize that a lot of my complaints may be from my inexperience with, or distaste for, the survival game genre. Survival game or not, Song in the Smoke does a lot of things really, really well. The presentation is absolutely among the best I've ever seen in a VR game, and the gameplay, for all its flaws, is the most I've enjoyed a survival game yet. The oppressive difficulty, while frustrating, is an effective motivator, and it lends a lot of thematic credibility to the idea that you are a primitive man whose only goals are to survive and hunt. It might not be for everyone, and it might not even be for me, but I'm so impressed with the originality of this title that I just can't help but keep playing it.